In this episode of Homeworthy, French tabletop designer Marie Daâge shows us the art of setting the table, from how to mix different china patterns to arranging simple flowers. To see the full tour of her beautiful Parisian home, click on the link below. Enjoy! You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Like and subscribe for more.
The table, that's my big passion, because you know, table, it's like when you get dressed. I never know exactly how the table is going to be. It really depends on the flowers that I have under my hands or on, you know, my mood. So generally, I will mix everything, because I think it's so nice when around a table you have a whole story going. I will rarely have 6 or 12 plates of the same. That's very rare. Generally, I choose a link with the color, and I will mix the collection in this same family of colors. Of course, you will say I'm very gâtée because I have so many choices at home. But this is also really something I really try to teach when I'm creating sets for my clients or with designers. It's really, I always tell them, think about that when you will have dinner after the dinner, it's important that you don't make always the same table. So when you create a set of 12 plates, please don't take the 12 plates the same, because you will have 12 chargers, 12 dinner plates, 12 dessert plates. Make that the charger is one collection, the dinner plate another collection, the dessert plate another collection, and among all this collection, don't do them in the same color. So choose 2 or 3 colors, so that one day you will have a blue table, next day a green one, the other day a purple one, and when you are 12, you mix the 3 colors, because the things can be mixed together. So really, this is a key point in creating a set. So here, typically, you have the demonstration of what I'm telling you. Because I had all these 6 plates that I just, you know, have under my hands, and I put them in a very spontaneous way. You see here, for instance, you have a charger in Raffia Collection Gold, the dinner plate in my Bouquet de Vie collection, and the dessert plate in a Bouquet de Vie. But I could have done very easily this and this, so that it changed the plate. Here you see Verdure, this collection, quite plain, very modern, with a very, very classical pattern inspired by the 18th century fabrics. When I do that, the look is a little bit different. So this is really the idea. Or I may have done this also, to do it more purple. Or I could do also this, to have it more rich. So it always works. And that is a nice thing. So that when you have your guests, they will never have the same table when they come to you. Because at the end of the day, we invite our friends. We don't change friends every day. We have the same friends coming often to you. We have the same family coming. So it's nice that when from one dinner to the other, you don't have always the same table. And so as you cannot have thousands of plates, it's nice to be able to mix, to have in one set different options of table. And also, I think that it's nice, let's say you start with a family like this, but if in 2 years you want to bring some green, it's very easy to just add a little bit of green, and for instance, to move in this style of table. Because as you see here, for instance, these 2 plates are from the same family. So someone who has started with a combination of aubergine and blue can very easily, a little bit after, buy a little set of green and start to mix same collection in 2 different colors. And then little by little add some green. So it's really, it's like when you have your garderobe, you have some basics and you will bring some new and assort them in another way. Let's say you have a very nice black trouser and you have a white silk shirt. The year after you will buy a velvet red jacket, put it on your black thing. So it's really like when you get dressed. You can always accessoire the things in different way by keeping the same plates and adding other colors or other patterns. So this is fun and makes you happy when you dress your table and makes you creative. And this is really the important thing. You have to be creative. And never scared of doing something wrong, because they are all matching. So you will never do something wrong. That you can be very relaxed. Here you see I have keep the table, no napkins, because I love the dramatic black aspect of the table. I just put some very discreet placemats. Here there are very lovely one in leather from J. Grain, which I love. It's an English brand. For the glasses, I like very much to use the goblet, my magic goblet. The goblet is something fantastic. You can use it, as you see here, for flowers. If you have a big bouquet and you have just a few flowers left, you just put them in the little goblet and it makes you a nice little thing. I like when there is a little story going around the table. So here my goblet are for flowers, but here the goblet is for water. The goblet could be also something very nice. If you have a starter, a little soup or a little mousse, you could easily use a goblet as a starter also. So here I have my very old crystal glasses that I bought because my glasses of my wedding list were of course completely broken after 20 years, 30 years. So I bought this at the auction. You see they are very, very small because the glasses used to be much smaller than our glasses today. That is a red wine glass. The silver, it's an old family silver that I use. As you can see, it's not very well cleaned, but I don't like when silver it's too much shiny, so it's a good reason not to polish it all the time. So it's a traditional, it's an old 19th century argenterie. As you see, in France, the monogram is on the top, is on this side, and on this side of the fork. Because in France, we are the only one in the world, don't tell me why, or maybe yes, I have a version, but I don't think it's true. We are not putting the fork like this, but like that. Someone told me that it was because after a meeting with King of England, Henry VIII, and French King François Ier, during the Camp du Drap d'Or, they were, English and French were always a little bit fighting, and at the end of this dinner they fight, and the King of England says, so now it's going to be war, and he put his fork like this. So the French people say that the good way to do is this, and this is very aggressive. But I think this is really a French theory. I don't think it's really real, but I give you the story. I love candles, so everything I can find to put a candle, I will use it. So here I have this cute little tulip bowls, which can be used also when you have ice cream or a little mousse. Very nice. Here I use them to put a candle, and so it makes a nice reflection on the color. I use also to put the candle some little coffee cup, the little Arabic coffee cup can become also a candle holder. Then another idea to use the shapes in different way. Here, This is an egg cup, no? And I use it for salt, but I could also put a little candle in this. Why not? I could also put a little flower to make a little story on the table. So, you know, it's important to be creative. On the table here you have the crystal carafe for wine. These are my funny cock in silver. This is very English. I find them in vide-grenier, what you would call maybe garage sale. So it was really a nice discover. And in the middle, a little cachepot, my little cachepot, which are nice to put a little bouquet, but it's important that the bouquet remain very low because, you know, important to have a conversation and not to be hid by huge flowers, which may be very nice, but at the end you are alone on the table because you are just surrounded by huge flowers. And this is not the purpose. The purpose here is to entertain and have a nice time together. On this table, so here the story is green, green and green and green. So lots of different shades of green. This is my panache collection that I love very much with this fantastic work of brushstroke. So some may see here a crown of leaves, some may see some feathers, you know, it's your inspiration. This is my Belle de Jour collection. It's an inspiration of embroidery of Charles Jourdain dress that I saw in an exhibition in the Marmottan Museum. Here you have a verdure collection inspired of a tapestry, a verdure of the 50s. And it's funny because I started to do with something like this, very figurative, a little bit naive, like Douanier Rousseau style. Here you can choose 3 colors, so it's really very large possibilities of color. And I went into the leaf like this, and it ends by doing something completely abstract. So this is part of the same family, but you can see the process of creation, how you go from very figurative to completely abstract work. So each plate different, and the link are these greens and aubergine tone. For the flowers, I must admit that this was part of a big bouquet I had, so instead of throwing them away, I keep them. They are dry now and it's fun to add them in whichever bouquet. The colors are mixed, but it works, it's nice. Here we are always surrounded by this big green tree. You remember I'm from the tropic, so it's a reminder of my childhood, Martinique, and it's also coherent because in the apartment Haussmann period, people love to have these exotic trees. It's like also all, you remember, all this wallpaper, Zuber, which de Gournay is inspired. This paper which reminds you some landscape, exotic landscape. Everything was a lot about exotism. Also in the way of using shapes for different purpose, when you have a lovely tea set, it's nice to be able to use it also for dinner. So I like very much the idea that your teacups could become a lovely little soup container or a little dessert container for your dinner. So this is another idea. Really, when you have lovely things, try to use them as much as possible. And this is a way of using the cups.
Thanks for watching. For more Homeworthy content, be sure to like and subscribe.